All right, guys, I'm gonna show you just the sheer power of this Saturn Sky. Let's start it up. What's up YouTube, Lambo Bread back. Today guys, I want to shed some light on one of the most unknown kind of cars on the market that's a two-seater sports car. It is a Saturn Sky, so I'm pretty much going to go through all the pros and cons of everything I can think about after owning now 4 of these cars. That is right, I literally know everything about these cars, just about. So anyways, let's start with the cons. Let's get in the car and drive it. Yeah, so I was actually completely joking, obviously. This thing is a 4-cylinder, 2.4 liter, that's pushing out 170 horsepower. All right, so for the next negative, number 2 on the list, we've got the manual transmission. And so I'm gonna point this out, that this manual transmission, so okay. So there's 2 versions of the Saturn Skies. There is the base model, which is what I'm in, and the Saturn Sky Redline. So this is just the Saturn Sky, that's what mine is. And so mine has a 2.4 liter, the other one has a 2 liter turbo. So that one with the turbo has 260 horsepower, it's pretty fast. But, here's the key. I'm gonna demonstrate, I'll show you some old footage of the manual transmission in the Redline. Yeah, so first gear to second gear is like disgusting. So here. Okay, so I'm in first, and you can't go from first to second really fast. And now I'm in second. That is literally how long it takes. I have people tailgate me just because I'm going so freaking slow in the first to second, and that's just as fast as you can go. So basically, in the base model, this is how fast I can shift from first to second. Okay, so I'm gonna give it some gas. Second. All right, so one little gripe of this car, next on the list for number 3, you can't easily heel. I can't heel toe shift this car. I'm actually, obviously this isn't a race car. I know it's not a race car. I feel like I'm just too tall in this car to really be able to heel toe shift it. So that's one little gripe. All right, so I'm gonna try and demonstrate the next one. The 4th thing is that the hood shakes like absolute crazy and it makes this obnoxious noise. I have no idea how to fix it, so if anybody in the comments has a Saturn Sky and knows how to easily fix the hood shaking noise, I don't know, it's like the 2 mounting points for, I don't know, it's just so freaking annoying. All right, so, speaking of noises, this thing has so many mechanical noises, so it's gonna go on the negative. So you can probably hear right now the differential. You can just hear a lot of noises right now, right? All right, so enough with the negatives of driving the car. Let me show you guys some negatives of just kind of the overall car. All right, so let's start with the trunk space. So, cool thing though is the trunk does open up like this. But yeah, we do have limited space and the soft top will go in the trunk. So, and let me show you. So you open this latch here. So once the latch is off, it goes in and it basically takes all that space in there, but that's all the space you have. And then even better than that, you have your, this is how you get around if you have a flat tire. You don't have a spare, so you fill it up with the liquid stuff. So another negative, not really a big deal because it's easy to fix. But so basically, if I pull this soft top up, these flaps need to open up, okay? So they need to be open like this. So there's this metal cord that attaches to right here, and it's supposed to stay in there with this piece of plastic that holds it in. This little plastic thing that holds it always breaks. So this is just dangling, and you have to manually hold it open and then go to the other side and do that. As you can see, I still kind of have the plastic thing here. It's, a little bit cracked and screwed up, so it kind of works. Okay, another negative. You have to be super careful with these cars and make sure that this is correct. Basically, these are kind of like perfectly balanced and everything, and I was actually told by someone with the Saturn Sky that it's very important to make sure that this thing is shut evenly. But the trunk can be a huge issue because in order to get to some of the stuff that holds this thing together and that kind of evens it out, there's some mechanical stuff inside of here, inside of the trunk itself, and that you have to kind of disassemble in here. Basically, it's a huge hassle if something goes wrong with that, and it is known to happen, so you make sure you look out for that. So I'll get into kind of the positives at the end and how much I bought this thing for and why I think it's like such a great value proposition, but let's go to the next negative thing. Okay, so this I would say is one of the most important things if you're gonna go look at a Saturn Sky. You have to check this. These fenders here and on the other side are actually made of a plastic composite. You can hear it. So you literally need to go on your hands and knees and you need to look underneath this thing and you will see cracks, probably stress cracks under here. I have a couple little tiny stress cracks. So that's something you have to look at. Sometimes people will put this thing on the lift because they have no idea what they're doing. And if you've so much as had anything touch that while it's going up on the lift, whole thing's cracked, new one. $450, not including getting it painted and stuff. So huge issue that you need to make sure you check out. All right, so another big one is make sure maybe your woman or a friend, if they get in this thing and they pull this while it's locked really hard, this whole mechanism here will totally crack off and you have to put a new one in. So that can kind of be expensive to put a new one in. So be really careful on that. That's a little negative. So this is gonna be a negative and a positive. I like that this car is really low to the ground. It's about like 2 or so inches off the ground to stock, but right over on the tip there, I had one car where the center was actually, the plastic was torn. So people will scrape these a lot. My car's actually scraped from the previous owner. All right, so I'm 6'2", so a little negative is that I do fit in this car, but the pleather, I should say, keyword pleather, not leather. So yeah, pleather against plastic just is not good, so it makes noises like that. All right, important thing to look out for when you're buying this car. Look underneath the car from the back and check the diff. There can absolutely, it's common. I think there's a recall for it even, but the differential, so the differential can leak and stuff. It'll be really obvious. You'll see black just around the differential there. It's about $300. Just kind of fix the seals on that. So definitely something important to look at before you buy one. So here's an important one that I've noticed on every single Saturn Sky. Let me see if I can, yeah, so you can kind of see that, you can see the swirls there. So the clear coats on all these cars are really pretty lame. And I think that's just kind of generally how everything is. They had to switch to, you know, like eco-friendly clear coat crap. All right, so I think it'd be really funny for those that have been watching the video this long already, put in the comments below what you've thought this whole time this thing is worth, okay? So it's gonna blow your mind. I'm gonna tell you the price right now, okay? Write your comment. I bought this car for $4,300 and it looks like this. So one of the big positives though, guys, is that obviously the price point's awesome, but I mean, it's really fun to drive. It has really wide tires. It has some decently wide tires for, I mean, this type of car. And I guess the best way to describe it is that it's just kind of like a bigger, heavier Miata. That's like kind of the best way to put it. It performs really good just because it's super small. So you can rev match really easily. Super smooth, super easy to do. So to be serious though, net total I've put into this thing, I had to put a windshield, tires, and then I need to fix the AC unit, which I can't figure out what's wrong with it, so that's a big issue. But I'm about $5 grand in this thing. I think I'll make money on it. At a minimum, I'm gonna be breaking even. I can drive the crap out of this car as much as I want and not lose any money, so that's awesome. The value proposition of this thing, guys, is what really blows me away. Every single time I look at a car and kind of this price range, it's just like, well, why would I get anything else that, if you're in the market for a 2-seater sports car, I think this is just, you can't beat it. So put in the comments below. I did this on my first video. Comments below. $5,000 to $10,000. There's not a better car that's a 2-seater that you can buy. So let me get into the next thing. Reliability is also really key, and why I think that 5 to 10 grand, this is the best you can get. The reliability on this car. I've owned 4 of them, so I know pretty much everything, okay? 240,000 miles. I owned a car, exact car just like this, base manual, one owner. It was a single owner car that was maintained at the dealership its whole life. But get this, never had one issue, okay? That means something for sure. And so that's what I look at in a car. Like, I'd rather just never have to worry about anything. It's just an oil change car. You never have to do anything on it. I know for a fact, my car here has 103,000 miles. It's a manual, still in the original clutch, still in the original water pump and everything. This thing's never gonna have a problem, all right? So guys, in conclusion, I would say that this is the best car for $5,000 to $10,000. Throw in the comments below if you disagree with me and think I'm a fool. This is the best, I'm telling you. The Redline 260 horsepower, 2-liter turbo, and this with a 2.4 liter that's just basically an oil change and you never have to worry about anything. This is the freaking car, man. So if you're thinking about a 2-seater sports car, I would get this. I would definitely try it out, see if it works for you. You just have to get past kind of some of those American, you know, just cheap stuff that American cars have. That's really what it is. So for those of you that are gonna talk trash to me about, oh, it's American, you know, trash, whatever, it's good for the money, for the price point, but there absolutely is kind of American quality that you get that just kind of sucks, that you wouldn't get with a German car, but obviously German you pay more. So subscribe guys, like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.